Welcome to a very festive edition of the Jonathan Ross Show. Now, we have got 4 Christmas crackers that haven't been pulled yet from my green room tonight, and they are waiting for you right now. Shall we see who they are? Yeah. Why don't we? He is one of our greatest stage and screen stars. He was the definitive Gandalf in Lord of the Rings, the definitive Magneto in X-Men, and to my mind, in Coronation Street, the definitive Mel Hutchwright. It is Sir Ian McKellen, ladies and gentlemen. There he is. It's Ian. Hello to have you here. Looking like a teenager. How does he do it? Great to have you here, sir. My next guest is, pound for pound, one of the funniest men on the planet. A great actor, a great writer. You might know him from the very funny sitcom Parks and Rec, and his own fantastic stand-up specials, the brilliant Aziz Ansari. Thrilled you're here. I'm a huge fan. As well as those two, we have one of the best-loved presenters on TV. She also hosts the TV show I never miss, Antiques Roadshow, so she might be able to tell us how much Ian McKellen will go for on eBay. It's Fiona Bruce, ladies and gentlemen. There she is. And you will know my next guest as... By the way, how many people watch Downton Abbey in here? Well, you know my next guest is Lady Rose from Downton Abbey. But also, she's a genuine movie star now, thanks to her performance in the movie Cinderella. She is the always fabulous Lily James. I'm thrilled you're back on the show, Lily. All right. And we have a special treat in store for you, because at the end of the show, I'm thrilled to say, will be a return appearance from our friends Coldplay. Will be singing a Christmas song with a very special guest. So we've got a packed show tonight, so let's get to it and bring our guests out. Give them all a huge welcome. I'm going to bring them all out at the top of the show. Let's start with the fabulous Aziz Ansari. Great to see you. You can take a seat over there. Here she is, it's Lily James. Come and sit next to her. And of course, Fiona Bruce, ladies and gentlemen. A lovely Fiona Bruce. Fiona. You're marvellous, thank you so much. Here we go. And finally, Ian McKellen. Here he is. Oh, you got it. What do we get? You came out with a cracker. I got the worst thing you ever get from a cracker. I got the sewing kit. Do you celebrate Christmas? I guess in America, do they go crazier for Christmas, do you think, over there than here?
I don't know. I've never spent a Christmas here, but I think it's probably the same. Singing and all that stuff, and gifts and all that stuff. Santa Claus is... Yeah. They have Santa Claus here, right? It's all the same. Yeah.
I think
everyone asks what's the difference. It's all the same. Yeah. Everything's the same in the States as it is here, for the most part.
And do you embrace the commercial aspects of Christmas?
I love the commercial. That's my favorite part, actually. I love the music, the gifts. The religion stuff I don't really get into as much. The commercialization's very fun.
Does anyone... and I believe you bought me a gift before we say hello to everyone else. You bought me a gift, and
I brought you something from America. It's huge right now. It's the most popular thing in America. It might be a little too sentimental, but I hope you like it.
It's after... I don't want to make anyone else feel bad who didn't bring me a gift.
Okay,
let's have a look at this. So quite a traditional... I see what this is. Okay. Oh, so this is...
It's a twerking penguin.
Wow.
Yeah, you just hit his foot and then he does his thing. There you go.
Wow, okay, well, thank you. I can't take my eyes off it. Well, that's quite something. I imagine that was a popular gift this year. OK, let me ask you then, and this isn't, by any way, this isn't a dig, but let me ask, let's start with you, Fiona. What's the worst Christmas gift you've ever received?
The worst Christmas gift I've ever received, I think... I feel a bit mean, because it was from my lovely mum. But my mum, I know, sorry. My mum was in her 70s, and she had a pair of, you know the kind of trousers you see in the back of Sunday supplements? Or elasticated waistbands. Always great in a washing machine and tumble dryer. And I just wanted to pay my mum a compliment, so I said, oh, Mum, there's a really lovely trouser, they look really great on you. And 2 or 3 weeks later, sure enough, I got a pair for Christmas from my mum. So there you are. You have to be careful what you say.
Did you get a lot of wear out of them?
Do you know, funnily enough, well, I did think about recycling them and giving them to somebody else, but in the end I couldn't think of anybody. But no, I never graced that particular pair of slacks, I think is what you call
Slacks, I like to say that. Ian, any bad... Oh, you could go with a great gift if you wanted to.
Well, talking about recycling, I do have a drawer at home that I put gifts that I know I'm not going to really get much use out in. And then round about this time of year, I take them out and... Which is all right, as long as you remember who gave it to you in the first place. And I did to a very distinguished writer who gave me a lovely notebook, leather-bound and so on, which I didn't really need. And next Christmas I thought, I wonder what I can give her. Oh, perfect. And I gave her back the present she'd given me. What I hadn't noticed was that she put a very sweet dedication in the front of it. So, no.
Wow.
I don't do that anymore, no.
Are you still friends with this person, or is that...
Oh, very much so, yes. But I would like to have had that animal for Christmas. That would be lovely.
Well, in the spirit of regifting, I just...
Oh!
Oh, no, I'm not going to give you this one. I'm just saying, maybe someone else will have one they didn't want, because I'm keeping this baby and I'm watching that. Look at that. Lily, what about you? Best or worst Christmas gift?
Well, my brother once gave me, this was sort of great and terrible because of what ensued, but he gave me a vodka dispenser that, you know, that you have in the pub where you click and the shot comes out.
Yeah.
So we clicked it onto the fireplace and I just got really drunk and that was it, really.
Lily, before we talk about your big new thing, you know, Christmas for me often, the thing I think about is Disney. Of course, you're in Cinderella. And, Ian, you're about to be in a big new Disney project, aren't you?
Yes, they've remade Beauty and the Beast.
Wow.
Or with actors rather than animation.
So a live-action version?
Yeah. I prefer to call it Beauty and the Clock. I don't know if you can guess what part I'm playing. Cogsworth's the clock. I mean, the whole thing really revolves around him and his background and his... And I thought his singing ability, and in fact I wrote a little song. My name is Cogsworth, and I'm a clock, tick-tock. But that didn't make it into the finished version.
Well, I don't understand how they could not. I think they're crazy not putting that in there.
I do, yeah.
But it's not the same as the animation. So it won't have the songs that were in the animation.
Yes, all the songs.
Oh, it has.
But instead of animation, actors. Wonderful actors.
Cogsworth sings Be Our Guest, doesn't
Yes, well, along with other people. Ewan McGregor and...
Oh, so what you're saying is you wanted a solo song?
Exactly.
About yourself?
Exactly. After all, it is called Beauty and the Clock. I mean, it doesn't make sense if he doesn't...
How is your singing voice? We didn't get enough of a taste there to really sample the delight.
That was really good.
What's your karaoke jam, Ian?
Oh, dear. Climb every mountain, I think.
Wow.
Wow.
For every stream... You know.
Wow, you're the best nun that never was. Okay,
Mother Superior.
Are you a karaokeist?
You know, if there's a significant amount of alcohol in my system, sometimes I can be coerced into it. But usually, it's not my first activity of choice.
Do you go for like a romantic song, or do you like to drop kind of a hip hop bomb?
I like a slower R&B ballad. I'm probably closer to the climb every mountain, ford every stream, follow every rainbow.
What would be the kind of songs in your repertoire?
Maybe a Drake song or something.
A little bit of Drake.
Yeah.
You've got to drop a bit of Drake on us right now, since you know that. We've got to hear some Drake, haven't we? You know what? If you're good enough, I'll be Madonna and I'll come over and kiss you afterwards.
What Drake song? I guess.
I don't know any Drake songs. I just know he exists.
Really? I guess what's it? You used to call me on my cell phone. That's about all I got.
I'm assuming that was good. I don't know the song, but it sounded pretty good to me. OK, Lily, you know where we're going with this.
Oh, God.
If I were you, I'd get working up there and thinking about it.
I don't actually like karaoke very much, but I would say I'd go for something like Shania Twain, Man, I Feel Like a Woman.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes, well, we're looking forward to that right now.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll do the now.
Let's go, girls.
Now.
Man, it's man, I feel like a woman.
Okay. I've saved what I hope will be the best till last.
Oh, God.
Have you? You have done karaoke, though, haven't
This
you?
is because I told you just before we came on that at the... I so regret
Oh, I forgot you told that to me.
Yeah.
You mean the newsreader Christmas party where you got shit-faced? I forgot. I had forgotten you told me that story about 10 seconds ago.
It was the first time I'd ever been to a karaoke bar. And I didn't know what to expect, and there were about 17 of us crammed into this booth. And anyway, we were just shouting all the songs all the time. That's basically what we did. And can I get away with that?
And when you finally
no,
took your glasses off, shook your hair down, stepped up to that mic, what did you knock them dead with?
All the single ladies, all the single ladies.
That's a winner, right there. Beyoncé is a winner. So, Aziz, I guess I will be right in saying it's been a great year for you. So,
I guess so, yeah. It's been good.
I began to enjoy your work very much when I saw you in Parks and Rec, and then I saw your stand-up gigs, and I thought they were incredible. But now your own show on Netflix. Tell us about Master of None.
It's a series that I put out. It's on Netflix now, and there's 10 episodes, and I play a guy who's kind of like me, I guess, and each episode's kind of about a different topic. One episode's about my parents, another episode's about my relationship with the elderly, another episode's about, you know, race and entertainment, and so each topic is, each episode's a different topic.
The parents who are on screen in the show with you, they are your actual parents, aren't they?
Yeah, they're my real parents, and I did audition some proper actors to play that role, but it was always awkward that we would do the auditions and I would read with everyone. So a guy came in to like audition to play my dad, and we would read the scene and I'd be like, but dad, blah, 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 blah. And he'd be like, but son, what do you need to do? And then the audition would finish and then he'd be like, hey, that was so much fun, thank you. And I was like, wait, that's not your real accent? Like, this guy's like making fun of my dad. It's what it feels like, so I'm not gonna hire him.
But were you scared at all? It must have been, I would have, it's hard enough working with anyone new. Here you've got people who are acting something which is very important to you, and you're the reason they're there, and they might not have been as good as you would have hoped them to be. Was there a worry there?
Yeah, you know, my dad's part's pretty big. He's in a few episodes, so we had him, like, audition beforehand so we could see that he had a little bit of chops to get it done. And my mom's part was not as big, so I was confident she'd be able to figure it out. It really just goes to show how easy acting is and how little talent any of us have.
I wonder whether Ian has anything to add at this point.
What does your father do for a living?
He's a gastroenterologist.
Easy.
You could step right in there, couldn't you?
Absolutely. You know all about that?
Yeah.
Couldn't be easier. Let's have a look at a clip. This is Master of None, and it's available on Netflix.
What's wrong with Short Circuit 2?
They got a white guy to play an Indian guy?
With the Robot movie? With Johnny Five?
Wait, you don't know this?
Wait, which Indian guy are you talking about?
Dude. That guy's a white guy.
The robot or the Indian?
The Indian guy is a white guy. That's Fisher Stevens. They use brown face makeup.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they got a real robot and a fake Indian.
I'm sorry, man. Wow, I'm experiencing a lot of emotions right now. Man, that's like one of my favorite Indian actors.
Dude, it still happens. You see The Social Network? Max Minghella plays an Indian guy. He's white. They browned him up.
No, I read that he's 1/16th Indian.
Who cares? If you go back far enough, we're all 1/16 something. I'm probably 1/16 black. You think they're gonna let me play Blade?
There's a very funny scene that episode where you and your friend there, you go for the audition and they ask you initially to do a more kind of stereotypical Indian accent.
Yeah.
Did that ever happen to you as an actor? Have you ever been in that situation?
Yes, I have. You know, sometimes when you audition, you'll get an audition for a part, and then you go in, or in my case anyway, I'll go in and I'll, you know, the audition room with all the other actors, and you see it's all Indian guys. And you're like, oh, I see what's going on here. This is probably a thing where they want me to do like an Indian accent or something. And sometimes it makes sense, but other times it's like, oh, they're just making fun of how Indian people talk, and it doesn't feel right to me. But it's never like, oh, this is like a period piece where, you know, we need you to do the accent. It's more like, oh, you're a convenience store worker and you need to give a soda to some white people that are going to go do interesting things in the movie afterwards. Then it doesn't feel quite right.
I just did a thing with a play on television called The Dresser with Anthony Hopkins.
Of course, it's brilliant.
In which I used my native northern accent. And it's now going to be shown in America next year. And I've had to redo my voice because the Americans can't understand my accent. So you can have a problem with your own voice, really, can't you?
Do you have a problem with his accent at all?
No, wait, so is what's the northern accent sound
A
like?
northern accent's a bit like this, you know, it's a bit flat. Can you
Oh,
hear?
God, I'm very confused right now.
Does that mean we're never going to work together?
No, I understood everything.
I could play your dumb cousin.
That'd be great.
Lily, I guess you have to be able to offer some accents especially when you're starting out.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's a thing at drama school where we all just lie and we put our CV and we say that we can do all these thousands of accents there. When I'm speaking for other people, for myself, I lied. But yeah, I mean, yeah.
What about auditions when people ask you to do something that you're not happy doing? Do you encounter that often? Do you ever get asked, for example, for nude scenes? Do you ever get asked that, Aziz?
Me, not as much. No, there's not a huge demand.
I'd like to see that.
I get more demand for the accent than showing my penis on more the accent dilemma.
You want to see a penis? Ian has a magnificent penis. I've seen it.
All right, John.
Happy Christmas, everybody. Well, we have to take a quick break now, but we'll be back in a couple of minutes for more festive fun. Don't go away. Very festive Christmas show. All my guests are still here, of course. Ian, Fiona, Lily and Aziz. Do you get recognised? Let me ask all of you how much you get recognised and what you get recognised for. Because, Ian, in recent years, I mean, I always admired you on stage, but in recent years with Gandalf and then with, like, the big blockbuster movies you've been involved with, that must have introduced you to a whole new audience, I guess.
Yes, I like being recognised, actually. I mean, because I'm rather a shy person, actually. So if I go into a room full of people, almost anywhere in the world, there's going to be somebody who knows Gandalf or Magneto. So I just relax and feel, there's a purpose to my life, which didn't always feel like it before. I was once walking in the Lake District, quite a long time ago. It was pouring with rain, so I had on all the gear and a hood right over me and a scarf round. There was a little bit of me showing like that. And I was plodding up this hill, and I just got to the top, and there was somebody coming over similarly dressed in the opposite direction. The rain pouring, the wind, and we sort of nodded, and he went back, and then he turned back, and I heard him say, "Are you Ian McKellen?" And there was nothing about me that he could have possibly known. Maybe I had my name on. I don't know what.
Lily, so do you get main recognition from Downton, or do people know you from Cinderella?
Yeah, I don't get recognised that much, but when it does happen, it can be quite intense, more because of Cinderella.
Holy shit, you're the girl from Cinderella!
Just like that. Without the swearing, because they're usually about 7.
Yeah. But I guess with your hair brunette, which is your natural colour, isn't it? It probably doesn't happen as often.
No, it doesn't. I had it once where I was in LA, I was in a swimming pool, and I was hanging out with these little kids for ages anyway, just playing. And then the mum recognised me and came over because of Downton Abbey. She's like, "Oh my God, you're in Downton Abbey," and blah, blah, blah. And then she told the kids, and they were like, "Cinderella! Cinderella!" And they were screaming. I was in a pool, in a small bikini, and I was like, ah.
What was this LA hang where you're like, I feel like swimming. Let me call up a couple little kids and see if they want to come.
Yeah, I love kids. We were playing volleyball for ages, and they didn't recognise me.
You don't know any adults in LA?
So, Aziz, so you're kind of outnumbered here because you're the token American at the table here. Do you have problems with the difference in the way we describe things? So sometimes we have a set of words for something which you have differently, because we have pigs in blankets this time of year, and they're sausages wrapped in bacon.
Yeah.
And I believe they're a different thing in America.
Pigs in a blanket there, it's the pig is in, the little piece of pork is in like a breading. So the blanket is of a different material. Here it's a pork blanket, there it's a breaded blanket.
And do you eat pork at all, by the way?
I do eat pork, yes. Okay. Yeah. I do eat pork, and I get... It's, a little problematic because, you know, my parents are Muslim and they're a little religious. They don't eat pork. And I eat it because I'm not religious and it tastes delicious.
It tastes great.
It caused some trouble for me. So when they're filming Master of None, they were there for a long time. They were there for like 3 weeks. And normally when my parents visit, I don't eat pork around them. But I was out to dinner with them and my girlfriend didn't know about the whole pork thing, and she ordered a dish that had pork. And I was like, oh, I really want to bite, but I don't want to cause an argument with my parents.
Some tension there, yeah.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh, whatever, you know, I'm 32 years old. What's the big deal? I'm not religious. I'm just going to have a bite. And then I take a bite, and immediately my mom's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm eating noodles. And she's like, there's pork in those noodles. Did you eat pork? And I was like, yeah. I'm 32. I'll do whatever I want.
Wow, that's a big moment.
Yeah, and her and my dad were both visibly upset.
Wow.
Not cool with this at all. Didn't buy my I'm 32, I can do what I want argument. And they were really angry, but we didn't discuss it because we're Indian people and we keep our emotions inside. And then a few more days passed and we were having like our final dinner together. And my girlfriend's like, don't order any pork. There's no reason to do this. You're just ruffling their feathers. You can eat as much pork as you want when they leave. And I was like, no, this is a matter of principle. I'm a grown adult. I should be able to order whatever I want. And so I order a dish, and my mom's like, really? You're going to do that? I'm like, look, like, I'm not religious. I'm choosing to do this. It's fine, okay? Like, I don't tell you what to do. You don't tell me what to do. We're adults now, okay? She's like, all right, fine. And I get the dish. And then a few minutes later, my girlfriend gets up and goes to the restroom. And I just look at my parents, and I'm just like, help me, she's making me eat pork. I don't know what to do. You gotta figure this out for me.
Oh, dear. That's what people do.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, Fiona, let's talk a bit about Antiques Roadshow, if we may. Because I always watch that show. I adore that show. It's big in America as well. Do you watch Antiques Roadshow, Aziz?
I don't watch much TV.
Wow.
Yeah. No offense to the medium or anything.
What's wrong with you, do you think?
I cut the cable and I just download things and watch.
So you're more selective then, in a way?
Yeah, I kind of cut out the whole, like, flipping channels and finding stuff, yeah.
Okay. So
well, the trouble with that is that you're never going to be surprised. And the beauty about television as we have it is that you can come across a program that you would never have turned on and get immediately hooked. That's what I think that trend to just knowing in advance what it is you want to watch is a pity.
Well, we're going to have to disagree about that, sir. Wait, but most of the flipping channels is not like, ooh, what's this interesting thing? Most of the thing is like, oh, now I'm watching this commercial for knives. And
so, Fiona, to go back to Antiques Roadshow, which we all watch and enjoy, I don't care where you live, Aziz. You have to join in. It's Christmas. You want me to call your mum and say you're eating pork right now? I will do that.
Don't tell her.
But you want to pass on this, you've got to go with this.
All right.
OK,
Can I ask a question about Antique Roadshow?
Please do.
How long does the show last? An hour?
An hour.
An hour. How much do you film to get it down to an hour?
We film all day.
All day.
And we turn up at the venue and we film all day, and thousands of people come. You know, 3,000 and 4,000 people will come, and they all get seen with their bits and bobs, or you know,
they all get seen,
but
not by the audience.
No, they all get seen by the experts as long as they turn up by a certain time, and then that gets whittled down to about 70 odd items, and we make 2 shows out of that.
But if you've carried your wardrobe all the way, do you get it priced?
Well,
even if you're not on the show? Because I worry about those. You see all those crowds and crowds of people carrying things.
I know.
To be fair, Ian, you don't see a lot of them carrying wardrobe.
Look at them behind them.
We did have someone who came.
There are crowds of people.
Yeah, they've all bought something. We
had a couple who came along. They brought this massive painting about, you know, as long as this sofa and about 6 foot high. and I was kind of walking around, and I kept seeing them saying, "Oh, yeah, we'll be with you in a minute." You know, we're trudging along with their painting, obviously very proud of it. And then it went to the paintings expert, who looked and said, you know, I'm sure it looks lovely on your wall, and it must go beautifully with your colour scheme. I think probably 20 or 30 pounds. Anyway, they were so cross that they just dumped it by the nearest hedge and stomped off. So yeah,
and
so
then,
that happens.
And then the expert went and rescued it and sold it as Sotheby's for $1 million.
Good plot.
So everyone gets seen, and all the stuff gets seen, and people bring, you know, sometimes people, obviously most people come in their cars, but when we've been at lovely stately homes and they've been by rivers, sometimes people come in boats. Oh. And so the opening titles have a clock in a boat, and that's because that's what people did for one programme. They came up with
I guess...
a clock. And you could have sung the song.
Wow.
My name.
My name is Cogsworth. I am a clock.
Tick-tock.
Tick. Is that all you have, or...
That's all I've got so far.
Okay. It's what we call a strong foundation to build on.
I'm trying to think of anything that would rhyme with clock. Can you think of anything? Sock, of course.
Yeah, but when I started doing the roadshow many years ago, and people talked to me about the programme, far more often than not, what people said is not, I love that moment when it all comes good and the person's so thrilled. They said, you know, I love it when someone comes along and they think it's really valuable and then it's not. So I realised that Schadenfreude is the spirit in which many people watch. But then the fun about it is that you never know what's going to turn up. People bring along all kinds of things, and I think the oddest thing I've ever seen was when a chap came along. He had an envelope and said, I brought something, he particularly wanted me to see it. I brought something along, I really want you to have a look at it. I don't think you'll ever have seen anything like it before. I thought, OK. And I opened the envelope, took out a piece of paper with something desiccated and yellow sort of smeared over it. I thought, OK, pervert alert, or something odd is going on here. Anyway, not at all. In case you're watching. Not a bit of it. And in fact, what it was a piece of dried fetal membrane. I know. And there used to be a trade... Human. There used to be a trade in these things, because now, when a baby's born, you know, the water's broken, you cannot be born inside the fetal membrane. But before that, in, you know, 100, 200 years ago, when babies were born that way, if you were born inside it, so in the water, in the amniotic fluid, that was thought to be a talisman against drowning.
Is this a caul?
A caul. A fetal caul.
David Copperfield had a caul.
That's right. And so you either kept it with you, or there was a trade in them.
Aziz, I know you're a big fan of the show. Do you have a question for Tim?
What happens on the show?
Don't go away, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to take a quick break, but when we come back, there'll be more from Fiona, from Ian, from Lee, and, of course, Aziz. See you in a couple of minutes. To a very special festive edition of our show. Now, Lily, I'm very excited about War and Peace, ladies and gentlemen. 3rd of January on BBC One. It's going to be the historical TV drama of the year, I would have thought. What an experience to be cast in that and to be filming that. And, of course, an epic novel, which few of us have actually read. There was a TV series years ago, and it was 20 episodes long. How many have they condensed into for modern taste?
They've condensed it into 6, or 6, the last one's longer. But
Okay.
Andrew Davies did the adaptation, and it's really great.
And did you shoot it in Russia, or was it just Europe generally?
We shot in Russia for a while, in St. Petersburg, and all these amazing, amazing buildings, which I sort of thought I'd seen it all from Downton, like great houses, but this was a whole other level of opulence and grandeur. And yeah, and in Russia and in Lithuania.
It looks incredible. Is it kind of fun being in those costumes, or is it restrictive? Is it kind of harder to work when you're all corseted up?
I like it. Anything that helps create the character, you know, that you can use that for your imagination. Or you don't have to imagine anything, because
Look at how beautiful.
Wow. There's never any Indian people in these periods. It's always very white periods, so I never get to be in any of these things.
OK, let's have a look at War and Peace. This starts, as I said, it's January the 3rd on BBC One. It looks like it's going to be spectacular.
You seem to have the gift of happiness.
Well, don't we all have it? Some of it in us.
I've never experienced anything like it before.
You are Count Bezukov now. It is for the young ladies to make themselves pleasing to you now.
Does it frighten you?
Not a bit. I love it.
I'm in love, my friend. I challenge you! Everything ends in death. Everything.
This is your future.
Beautiful. It looks great. You have done your fair share of period work as well, Surin, though.
I've filmed in a couple of those places when I played the Tsar of Russia in a movie about Rasputin, so I think we went to some of the same places.
I guess you don't approach it all that differently. If you're playing someone like Magneto, who is sort of a megalomaniac, he's wrong, but he's despotic and he is powerful, it's probably not that different to playing one of Shakespeare's kings or to playing someone like a Tsar, is it?
Yes, I know what you mean about the character, but the language is slightly different. I mean, because you don't have much in a fantasy action movie. It's all gestures, you know. I kept saying, give me a speech. But no, it's monosyllables, really. So that's the big difference between Shakespeare and Magneto.
But when you did the gestures, did they have a specific... Did Marvel Comics say you've got to do it a certain way, or did the director, or did you just have a range of gestures you tried out at home for raising objects?
Well, exactly that. I tried it out in the mirror, yes.
Okay.
No, you can't look anything like the characters in the comic
Yeah.
books. I mean, they don't look like humans at all.
Yeah.
So, huge thighs and great bulbous bits that I don't have.
And so when you were trying out the gestures...
Yeah.
were there any you rejected? Were there any you... Did you do a kind of gentle, more of a small ways, and that didn't work?
One of my favourite sequences is when Magneto goes to rescue his troops on the island of Alcatraz, the prison there, and he detaches the Golden Gate Bridge,
whole thing,
with his force over metal, and then flies it across San Francisco Bay. So I'm doing this, and I'm on a mock-up of this. It's a fantastic broken bridge that I'm on outside, but the wind machines and false rain and everything, and me and the director shouting, "More, Ian, more!" So I'm doing more. "More, Ian, more!" And the next instruction was, "Less, Ian, less!"
Lily, so when you're making the bigger movies, like a Cinderella, does it feel wildly different to making a smaller piece like Downton? I know that's big in its own way, but it's obviously a different kind of process.
Not really, not when you're doing... I mean, you get way more time on films, and Cinderella, I think, was very unique in that it was like a fairy kingdom. I mean, it was insane. As a girl, I was just blown away every day by the sets. So I think that I don't know if I'll ever experience anything like that again.
Although I would have thought War and Peace must have been close.
Yeah, well, yeah, that was pretty great too.
Yeah.
It was, actually.
No spoilers here, but as I said, I haven't read it. Does it end sadly?
No. Well, I mean, it goes over a long period of time. Like, there's a lot of sadness in it, but I think it ends well.
Good.
But that's, yeah.
Because if it's sad, I'm not watching it.
Well, you have to.
I'm getting the age where I don't want to watch sad stuff anymore. Are you at that age yet, Aziz?
Yeah.
Now, we have a thing coming up that we wanted to see if you join in with, involving dogs, because I don't know if you know this, but the dog present industry is huge. Obviously, people spend a lot of time on caring for their dogs, but the kind of whole non-edible side of it, clothes and toys, it's nearly £1 billion now, the industry in the UK. I thought you'd be more surprised by that figure. Let me say it again and see if we can get some surprise. It's nearly £1 billion, that industry. You're even more surprised than I thought you'd be. So we have some dogs we're going to bring out, and there's a whole array of outfits you can put dogs in. And so we would look ahead of the year to see what the best-dressed dogs will be wearing this coming year, if you're into that kind of thing. But Aziz, you can't get too close, because I believe you're a bit... you have is it an allergy or just a dislike of dogs?
I have a little bit of allergy to dogs, yeah.
So you couldn't be too...
I mean, like, if it was like one dog, but you're talking about like a whole dog parade.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dogs, a lot of dander, if you will.
So we wouldn't want you too close to dogs.
Do we have to judge...
Would you like to judge them?
Yes.
OK, you can judge. I
Judge
will
the
come to
best
you.
outfit or the best dog?
No, you how can you judge the best dog? What kind of a...
Well, I'll show you. I'll say that one.
Let's go over. Those who feel getting closer. We'll put you furthest away, as is, because we know we're... OK, let's go over to the... Let's get ready for the dog parade, ladies and gentlemen.
My name is... Can I take it from my tree?
Take it, let him have the...
Isn't that magnificent?
All right. Just take it out of his feet. OK, so here we go. Are you ready for the dog parade, ladies and gentlemen? Yes. Let's get going. We'll find out what the best dressed dogs we're wearing next year. Let's start with our first contestant. Bella the Beagle is coming out. You're going to want to march your pooch down to Pry Bark to get this outfit. Here she comes. Hey, Bella. Oh, ciao, Bella. There you go. And she is dressed a bit like a Christmas pudding, so there's one of your Christmas... That's Bella, ladies and gentlemen. OK. OK, what do you think?
And he is dressed...
OK, next up we have Roxy, a Saint Bernard, ladies and gentlemen. One of the bigger dogs. Something formal for a summer wedding, perhaps. Look at that. Wow, OK. Hey, would you like... Oh, you're a beauty. What a beauty.
Wow,
there you go. And you see he's wearing his lovely dinner suit there. He's on trend for the wedding right there. Esther, the Yorkshire Terrier, is next. Here comes Esther. In a little summer outfit there. Oh, let's stop him there, let's stop him there. Hello, hello. Look at that. OK, next up is Merlin, the Golden Retriever. Merlin is also dressed for Christmas. Hello, Merlin. How you doing? Look at that. OK, there you go. He's dressed as Santa. If you'd like to take Merlin over there. Thank you, Merlin. All right. I don't want to prejudice the judges, but out now is coming a very, very special boy indeed. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to try and... But here comes Professor Snowball, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Snowball. Hey, Buzz Buzz. How you doing there, little good boy? There's a sweet boy. Look at that. That's a handsome boy. Come on, look at you. You're a handsome... Isn't he a lovely boy? Don't you think... Don't you think he might be the best one yet? Yeah? I think he might be. Snowball, you go over there. Go on, good boy. I know you... Yeah, he's wearing jumper, he's got his leg warmers on, he's got his scarf. No, I know you like to be here with me. And we've now got Jackie, a Chihuahua, wearing a glam choo-choo for the occasion. You okay? Wow, that's quite a strut she's got going down there, isn't it?
Wow.
And finally, OK, this one I think you're going to enjoy. This is a beautiful little dog. You ready? OK. This is Evie, a very young Chihuahua coming out now. Evie, you're so tiny.
Goodness.
Snowball's looking up thinking, that's 2 bites. They're beautiful. Look at that. Little Evie. Sweet.
My name...
Would you like to carry Evie?
Oh, no, I couldn't.
Can I give... Would you like to come back?
Well, I will.
OK, take it very gently.
But can she walk? He walk?
I don't know. Who cares? She's so pretty, she'll be carried for the rest of her life. There you go. OK, so, ladies and gentlemen, that was our dog parade, and now let's find out from our esteemed judges which dog you think was the best dog.
The dog with the red on its back. No, not the Labrador, the... There, that one. Yes.
You like it? So, oh no, I think really we'd agree they're all winners here.
They are.
OK, ladies and gentlemen, don't go away. The dogs will have to leave us, but we'll have more from all our guests and some more fun coming up in a couple of minutes. See you then. Welcome back Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the show. Thanks so much. Guys, it's been lovely having you on Christmas. You know, I don't know how... I know you don't watch a hell of a lot of TV, and, of course, you're in it, but you've been a big Downton fan forever. It's over now. Well, did they not ask you to be in it, Ian, or would you not have done it? What's...
Well, if you'd watched Vicious carefully, my sitcom with Derek Jacobi, my character, who is an actor, actually lands a part in Downton Abbey. So, in a sense, I have been in it. But when I see these costume dramas, and particularly ones with a lot of old actors, and I'm sitting at home saying, when am I coming on? You know, even though I'm not in it.
OK, was it emotional for you saying goodbye to Lily? I know it wasn't the biggest part of your life, but it was a big thing for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, really sad. We all just had such a hoot making it. We really did, and so... Yeah, it's always sad when something comes to the end, but I think it's a good time, you know, leave people wanting more.
And would you do a period drama if one came your way, Aziz?
I'm sure there were some Indian people in these periods. Yeah. I'd be very curious to know what they were up to, so let's find the script.
Well, you should write that script.
Yeah, all right.
OK, are you ready for a festive game to end the evening?
No.
OK, well, I don't think that's the right attitude for a start, but we don't have... Because this was such success, we did this game on the show last year, and so we decided we'd like to make it a tradition. We couldn't get... You'll be pleased to know, perhaps, we couldn't get 5 of them. We only got 4, so I think, Ian, I might ask you, instead of taking part, I might ask you to be in charge of reading the instructions for the rest of us.
Oh, with pleasure.
Let's head over and get ready to play Pie Face, ladies and gentlemen. OK. After you, gentlemen and ladies. So, Ian, there is your instructions. OK. OK, so, Ian.
Well, it says on the packet, an exciting, fun-filled game of suspense. Put some delicious squirty cream. Squirty cream. From home, or a wet sponge on the hand here, and wait for the tension to build as you turn the handles. Keep your fingers crossed and hope you're not the one who gets a splat. Warning, choking hazard.
OK, so heads in. This shit is about to get real. OK, Ian, do you want to call us by name? Start with me.
Jonathan.
Oh.
Lily. Aziz.
Oh.
Oh, God.
It might not be your turn.
Fiona.
Oh,
No.
OK.
Jonathan.
OK.
Speed it up a bit. Lily. Aziz. Fiona. Jonathan.
Well, you're a bully, aren't you? Oh.
Lily.
Yes.
Aziz.
Wow! We have a pie face. OK. No, we going on. OK, back in, let's do it. Yeah.
He took one for the team.
Come on, back in. OK, you're next.
Me?
Fiona. Jonathan. Lily. Fiona. Jonathan. Lily. Fiona. Jonathan. Lily. Fiona. Jonathan. Lily. Fiona. Jonathan. Lily.
OK. Shall we do it?
No.
Come on.
Oh, God.
Then there will be one pie face to rule them all.
OK.
OK. Right.
Fiona. Jonathan.
No! So close. So close.
Fiona. Well
I
done.
think this means she won,
That's
right?
what you
Yeah.
call
Results.
results.
And I would have thought any winner who's actually a good sports person would want to go back down and taste that pie themselves. You want to give it one more? Want to give it one more turn for the team, Fiona?
It's such a long time since anyone said that. OK, ready?
Yay! OK. Thanks very much to all my guests tonight. Weren't they great, ladies and gentlemen? Aziz Ansari, Ian McCallum, Fiona Bruce and Lily James. I'll see you again for a new series on 9th of January. My guests will be Gordon Ramsay, Ellie Goulding and Steve Carell. In the meantime, have a great New Year. And here to end the show, one of the best bands we've ever had on the programme and the biggest band in the world. It is, of course, Coldplay.
Christmas lights. Christmas night, another fight. Tears we cried a flood. Got all kinds of poison in my blood. I took my feet to Oxford Street, trying to right a wrong. Just walk away, those windows say, but I can't believe she's gone. When you're still waiting for the snow to fall, doesn't really feel like Christmas at all. Up above, candles on and flicker. Oh, they flicker and they float, and I'm up here holding on to all those chandeliers of hope. And like some drunken Elvis singing, I go singing out of tune, saying how I always loved you, darling, and I always will. But when you're still waiting for the snow to fall, doesn't really feel like Christmas at all. Still waiting for the snow to fall, doesn't really feel like Christmas at all. And those Christmas lights light up the street, down where the sea and city meet. May all your troubles soon be gone. Oh, Christmas lights keep shining on. Those Christmas lights light up the street. Maybe they'll bring you back to me, and then all my troubles will be gone. Oh, Christmas lights keep shining on. Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Pegg. Those Christmas lights light up the street, down like the fireworks in me. May all your troubles soon be gone. Those Christmas lights keep shining on.